Welcome back to Stories from the River. This is episode 368. We are joined today by McKayla Murdock, our Manager of Talent Acquisition.
Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at BroadRiver Retail.
All right, McKayla, welcome to Stories from the River. How you doing today on this beautiful Monday morning?
Yeah, good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We were just talking. I want to learn more about you specifically as a person. You're just telling me you are originally from Idaho,
Yes.
which is significant because we just had a grand opening in Idaho. What part of Idaho?
Idaho Falls, but my dad was actually born in Moscow.
Okay. Wow. What was your thought when we announced that we were opening up in Moscow?
I was very excited. I called my grandma, and she really wanted me to go to the store so that she could go see me, even though it's like a 9-hour drive.
Yeah. You saw a family out there?
Oh, yeah. My whole family, all my dad's family's out there.
What brought you to Charlotte area from Idaho?
So, I mean, me and my sisters and my mom, we all moved to like outside of Philly for like 12 years. And then when like the pandemic hit, we all just decided to move to the Carolinas. So we all picked up and moved here. So we're all in North Carolina now.
Wonderful. All right. So as I alluded to earlier, Manager of Talent Acquisition here at BroadRiver Retail. Tell me what your role does as if I'm a 5-year-old.
Yeah, so I manage the team of recruiters here. So there's 7 recruiters total as of today. So really overarching talent acquisition, we hire talent and bring talent into the organization. So we're looking to always source and attract the top talent to come work here.
How did you get into recruiting and talent acquisition?
So I actually was doing door-to-door sales, and half my job was sales, and then half of the job was recruiting for your team. And I loved the recruiting part of it, not the door-to-door sales part, even though it was fun and I learned a lot. So when I left that job, I just figured I would go right into recruitment. Got my first recruiting job and really been doing it now for over 10 years.
What were you selling?
Verizon Fios, like cable, TV, internet.
Got it.
Yeah.
Do you have any like tactics that you used or openers?
No, I was really bad at it. Well, I wasn't bad. It was like in the middle of Philadelphia and you're like door to door. So we always would go like with a friend.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like you would just have fun with it and just talk to people. And that was really it. Overturn objections and just keep walking laps until someone bought from you.
What's considered the success rate for door-to-door sales on actually getting people to buy?
Honestly, some people were really good at it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they're still in business today and do a great job, but you have to just have like grit and tenacity, which is what I kind of take into recruitment. It's very similar. It's still selling the company, selling, what we do here and the opportunity, especially with what we do here at BroadRiver. And we're selling the role to salespeople.
Yeah.
So it's very similar type of attributes. So that's what I like about it.
Door-to-door sales, I remember when I was a kid, I would be home alone during the summer because my parents were at work, and you get people that were like selling like lawn products. You'd obviously get Jehovah's Witnesses as well. They're doing a lot of door-to-door sales. And then there's a core memory of mine. My very first home that we lived in, I was like 3 or 4 years old. This guy was going door-to-door selling Windex, and for some reason, I just remembered him spraying the Windex in his mouth. And I was like, Mom, we got to get this stuff.
Yeah.
And we didn't, but that was a tactic that would have worked on 3-year-old Tyler. So that's not what people are here for. So, all right, McKayla, tell me more about the talent acquisition team. How are you guys structured? Do you guys have specific like departments that you work with, or just how are you guys structured in the positions that you're looking to fill?
Yeah, so I have 2 recruiters that are focused on retail leadership. So really our senior sales managers and above, so that's Chris and Taylor, they focus on bringing in like our senior retail leadership and anything really in retail. And then we have soon to be 3 recruiters that support our sales associate and retail operations, so they focus on our stores. 1 recruiter that supports corporate customer service and our visual teams. And then we have 1 recruiter that supports supply chain and operations. So eventually they'll all be cross-trained so they can really support any side of the business, but they have their specialty so the business knows who's their partner, who are they going to go to recruit.
I think most people truly might only interact with like talent acquisition and recruiters during the application process and the hiring process. What's something that might surprise our listeners or our audience about what it takes to keep our stores and our companies staffed?
Yeah, so for most of our regions, we actually still meet with them weekly. So we're still a partner to them every single week, like retail specifically, and our operations team, visual team. Now, some of our roles, like corporate or our customer service team, they don't have roles open all the time. So I think what's most surprising is that it's constant. It's whether we are opening or filling a position that's vacant, we're always trying to pipeline any candidates that want to come here, even if we don't have a position today. So it's just constant keeping up with candidates that are in our pipeline, and also working with business partners here in the organization to see if we can bring talent that they didn't even know was out there.
Yeah.
So it's more of a partnership than anything.
Sure.
With talent acquisition, it's recruitment, and also it's overarching here where it's not just filling roles day to day. We're also helping them find really the best people for the organization, but then we're also supporting, how can we make their teams better? What's going on in the market, right? It's more than just filling the roles day to day.
Yeah. And if someone's interested, let's get this in early on in the episode. If someone's interested in joining BroadRiver Retail, I mean, what's the best way to kind of reach out to get their name in out there?
Yeah, so they can definitely apply on any of our careers page jobs that we have out there, or email the talent team at shopashley.com and say they're interested in like whatever positions they might be interested in, and then one of the recruiters will reach out to them.
You've had a unique journey here at BroadRiver Retail. You were here, you left, you came back. Tell me a little bit more about just your journey overall here at BroadRiver Retail, and ultimately what made you want to come back?
Yeah, so yes, I did leave, came back. I live in Statesville, so if anyone knows it, it's like an hour and a half from here on a good day. Family-wise, I had some stuff going on, so I took a remote position for a little bit, but I immediately regretted it. I missed BroadRiver, and I missed like the culture and the energy and what we do here, to be honest. I went to another recruiting manager role, but it just didn't feel the same. It didn't feel like I was still putting any sort of change into the company. It just felt like I was recruiting them day to day, and I was missing that part of it. So I had the opportunity to come back. I was really excited. When I came back, we were really building the team up. When I left, we were a smaller team, about 3 recruiters. Now we're a team of 8, which I think has really been successful for us.
Yeah.
But started as a retail recruiter, kind of grew into retail leadership, and really supported all sides of the business for a really long time. And now taking over as the manager really helped build out this team with Jocelyn, and just really restructured the entire talent acquisition department here. And it's been really successful so far.
Talk to me a little bit about what are some of the selling points that you give candidates. What makes BroadRiver Retail such a special place to recruit for and then ultimately work and build a career for?
I think the biggest thing that we talk about is just the opportunity for growth, really in any sides that we work with. With our retail folks, we're talking to them about the opportunity to grow their career here. They can start as a home and furnishing associate, and they could get to general manager or area manager. We've had those success stories here. But a lot of what we talk about is the culture. It's the people first culture. Also just the people that you work with are just going to have that heart for serving others. And you can feel that really from all the leaders that are in the organization. So a lot of people, the 2 main things that people look for when they're on their job search is a good working environment, good culture, and of course, money, right? That's always the 2 number things that you hear, like, why are you looking to leave? A lot of people will say like they just don't have a good culture where they're at. There's no room for growth or opportunities, and then also compensation. So here we were able to provide a lot of those things for them, because not only a lot of our roles are uncapped commissions or performance plans within our retail space, but also the opportunity to grow their career here internally, and then also the culture. I think it's unmatched. It's fast-paced. It's fun. It's competitive. So I think people really love that type of energy.
Absolutely. There's always something going on. We just recorded with Julia and Aaron. It's probably last week's episode, but there's always something going on
Always.
at BroadRiver Retail, which does make it fun, does make it exciting. Talk to me about some trends in 2026 recruiting. What are we seeing? Just how is the landscape in recruiting changing, and what are some different, recruiting tactics you guys might be implementing?
Sure. I mean, the market right now, it's competitive. So unfortunately, there's been a lot of layoffs in a lot of industries. So what that means for recruiting is there's just a lot of applicants out there, and highly qualified applications. So it is really just reviewing every candidate, making sure to give them that great candidate experience. But also just, we have a pool of people that have never really been on the job market before. So it's being able to get that talent in the door as much as possibly can. But as far as tactics, I think it's really just, you have to be a little tenacious to work here.
Yeah.
We're looking for, some of our roles are very niche roles within our leadership team, and we do things a little bit differently within the retail space than other retailers. So being able to provide and talk to people and educate them that we have candidates with very similar skills can come here and do the job just like everybody else can. I think tactics-wise, we're starting to use a little bit of AI tools. We have a lot of tools here. We're very fortunate to have LinkedIn Recruiter. We have Indeed. We have sourcing. We have a lot of ways that we can reach a network of people. But yeah, the market is super competitive. So just trying to get as much people in the door and getting them that opportunity as we can.
What is, I guess, the channel or the how do most people just find out about BroadRiver Retail is what I guess I'm essentially asking, because I think we have a unique brand in, we're not out on our stores, it's the Ashley logo. We go out into market and do business under the Ashley name. And then ultimately BroadRiver Retail kind of really only lives online and kind of in the digital sphere. So where do you feel like most people, or where do you hear that most people are learning about BroadRiver Retail?
Usually online, right? They'll see a job posting and then that kind of leads them down this trail of, oh, I didn't realize you guys owned Ashley's. Like most people don't realize that we're a licensee of Ashley when they first get on, but once they see the Ashley name, they know it, they've seen it, they understand it. So we do explain that to them in the job process, and then they're kind of like, oh yeah, I know Ashley, like well-known brand. Obviously, we're very fortunate to work with them, so it makes that part really easy from recruiting, right? We're selling really just a brand that's really well known, and then we're selling BroadRiver, like what makes it so special to work here, and why work here over any other licensee or Ashley Furniture. So it's really easy to do because of how well we are portrayed online.
Yeah.
We have a, reputation within our community, within the retail community, of being one successful, and we also have like these great stories of just whether it's on the podcast or just seeing people be really successful in any ways, not even whether they have a growth track or anything like that.
What are key metrics that you guys track?
As of right now, we are tracking time to fill, and we do track like our vacancy rate. We are actually in the middle of a huge project right now with building out the ATS. So because of that, we've been able to actually implement new KPIs. We're working on a dashboard. So that will help us be able to expand more KPIs and metrics like time to fill, cost per hire. So we're really excited about it. We're kind of in like phase one of that right now. So it's been probably working on that for about 8 months. So now that we actually have data to support what we do day to day, it's going to be really easy to help not only see the data, but get better because of it.
We talk often about the growth of the company and the expansion across the nation and all that. What are the numbers in recruiting also saying the same thing in growth? Are we seeing more candidates, more people interested in joining BroadRiver?
Yeah, way more candidates. I mean, most of our jobs, we're very fortunate, get hundreds of candidates that apply that are interested and want to work here, and have applied time and time again that want to be here. Obviously, sometimes we only have one role available, so it's just it's highly competitive, which is great for us, and also great for the people that get to come in here. And with growing, we've been able to add a lot more people to the team, not only with like the new retail stores, but also our corporate teams are expanding. Our call centers are going to expand as we continue to grow. So we're seeing nothing but adding headcounts day over day, which is exciting for the company and excited for people that want to join.
This question might be irrelevant by the time it comes out. I mean, we're recording in early June, and this is not slated to come out until mid-July. But what are some hot jobs that we got right now? I think we have a director of talent acquisition out right now.
Yep, we just recently opened that up again. We're ready to. It's like we're ready at this point to bring someone in at that level. We have a few executive partner roles. We're looking for an executive partner to help manage. To help work directly with Manny.
Yeah.
So that's super exciting, very high level. We have a BI developer, so anyone who has experience in BI or development. Any retail space, right? We're continuing to have home furnishing associate positions open.
How does that work? I'm going to cut you off. Are we always recruiting for those roles? I mean, are we always looking for, if you're able to do the job, we'll find a store for you?
Here's the thing. Anyone who's top talent, we're always going to find a place for them. And even not top talent, right? Obviously, we have headcounts that we try to maintain in the stores just based on overall store size because we want to make sure that our sales team are still seeing the guests per foot traffic. So we do have that foot to traffic model. But we're always keeping a pipeline. So if we find someone really excellent, we're always going to find a spot for them because we don't want to lose those individuals. But typically we usually have a home furnishing associates role at some region, whether it's in north, south. So we're always looking for those. We're always looking for retail leaderships as we are continuing to grow as an organization. We never want to lose out on great talent because we might not have an opening today. But as we grow as a company, we could have an opening in 3 months, 6 months. And so we want to keep that in mind as we bring in those people into the space. So always looking for talent, to be honest.
Say we have a recruiter or a recruiting manager watching, listening to this. Is there a tip that you have for them, something that you've implemented recently that you think has really, changed the way that you guys, your team operates, either efficiency or effectiveness?
We have worked with different platforms trying to get more efficient. I think the biggest thing is getting the ATS implemented. For us personally, I know that's not like groundbreaking because most companies have ATSs, but for us, it's been really helpful because then we can now track data and see where we can be more efficient because now we're able to take that as a business case to our team and be like, hey, this process is, taking this many days. How can we be more efficient and make the hiring much quicker? As far as other tools, we did implement this texting tool, which has been really great. For our teams, you can schedule text messages out. So it's just allowing us to have more candidates show up to their interviews because they're getting text reminders. We can send text messages in like a group chat, or we can do it for our hiring events. We can do a QR code to sign in. So it's been way more helpful for our team. And it also has helped kind of create that less of a no call, no show to the hiring and to that interview. So I like it.
What are some red flags that candidates could give you during their screening process?
Anyone talking bad about another company is usually just like a red flag in general, because we want someone who's going to come in and even if they didn't have the best experience, be able to still talk in a positive way.
You can take good out of any job situation.
You're going to learn something, right? Maybe you just learned that job just wasn't for you, even if it could be a good job for somebody else. Being late or just like not showing up in general is just usually a sign of just not being prepared or not being respectful. I think other red flags sometimes we do recruiting calls where it's sudden, so I don't expect them to be fully prepared, but I do want them once they get to the hiring manager to at least have some sort of, dress nice, bring a resume, show up on time, be engaged and things like that. So anyone who doesn't do those things, I think can become negative.
On the flip side of that, what's something that makes a candidate memorable?
I think one, just being yourself. I think most people are very nervous to interview, so we do take that with a grain of salt that they might not interview very well. But being on time, showing up, explaining, your resume, kind of your practice, having a good energy about you, especially our sales team, right? We want somebody who is good at connecting with the guests because that's what they're going to be doing day to day. So if they show up to an interview and can't connect with the hiring manager, it might be not necessarily a red flag, but might not be a right job for them. So then let's tailor them to something else that might be a better fit for them based on their skills and experience.
What's something about recruiting that you wish, I guess, more leaders or more people just in general understood about the role in the industry?
Yeah, I think it is a skill for sure. A lot of people just think that anybody can recruit or just ask a bunch of questions, but it comes down to being able to be very organized. Mm-hmm. You have to be compliant, right? There's a lot of laws and employment laws that go around recruitment that protect the candidate and the candidate experience. And also just that we're here to partner with them. It's more than just, hey, I have a role, go fill it. It's let's partner to find the best candidate for you. We're going to do our own market analysis. If we're noticing that a lot of our candidates are having an issue with either the comp or maybe we have it hybrid, but a lot of candidates are saying remote. So we're going to also educate the hiring managers. So it's more than just us filling the roles. We are doing our due diligence to make sure we find the best people.
All right, we're wrapping up here. We got a few more questions. Using this platform, use this as a large recruiting platform for folks. Sell some people on what makes BroadRiver Retail special.
Honestly, the people, I think, is the biggest thing of why people come here. And a lot of people say that. A lot of organizations are like, oh, the people, they're so great. But they really are. When it comes to any person that I've met here at BroadRiver. They truly care. What I like most and why I came back to BroadRiver, even though we are a larger company and growing every day, it definitely still has that small company feel where you know the CEO and COO and the presidents and the SVPs, EVP, like all of the executives. They care about you and they care about your growth and your strategy here, but then also just the teams. Like everyone truly is a great member of every part of the team that I work with. Mostly why I came back, but I think when people get in here, they love that energy. We have our memory maker experience team that supports our memory makers and our people team, and every team in the organization I think really supports the people here. And I think you don't get that everywhere else. So I think that's the biggest thing that I would say. And it's just super fun.
Yeah.
It's never a boring day here. I'll say that. There's
sure.
always something going on.
The last question I have on here, and it has nothing to do with what I just asked you, but just kind of a wild random card here. What's the most unusual role you've ever recruited for?
Unusual? I don't know.
I mean, we got the door-to-door sales story,
Yeah.
so that was pretty good.
That was unusual as far as just you really had to sell it,
Yeah.
right? And most people got there. I didn't even know what the role was when I got there. I showed up in flats and we're walking around in Philadelphia in the snow, so was not prepared. I would say not really unusual. I think that I did home healthcare nursing for a little bit. That was kind of unusual and a challenge that I wasn't used to. I've done a lot of retail here and a lot of different roles. I wouldn't say the most unusual, but probably the most fun role that I ever worked is any of your guys' marketing roles. They're always my most favorite just because we don't get to use them work them all the time. So
you get some zany characters. Maybe.
Yeah, some fun people, just learn different things. But probably the most challenging role is anything tech related just because, we don't do it all the time. So it really gets to challenge you a little bit to see, what's out there and learn different programs that you've never even heard of. So nothing too crazy or off the wall, but.
What's a skill that you're working on personally or professionally right now?
Yeah, I think really just I'm a newer manager, managing a pretty large team. So learning to delegate and manage this team and figure out, what does my role look like here day to day. But like personally, I would really love to get, some more experience down the line in like talent management. So trying to find some different courses online to expand my knowledge of not only just bringing in the talent, but how can we keep them here and see them grow. So that's kind of my next growth path that I am starting to get into.
What's a skill that you wish 22-year-old Mikayla had when she entered the workforce that you realize now that you need?
I wish I was a little bit more confident when I was in like my 20s,
Sure.
But I think that just comes with time and just learning your industry and figuring out where you want to go. But I fell into recruiting. Most people do. They don't just like go to school and are like, I really want to be in talent acquisition. I really want to be a recruiter. So I think I would have joined it a lot quicker rather than doing the door-to-door sales route, but learned a lot, so can't complain.
What's a skill that young recruiters need?
They have to have grit and some sort of tenacity to sometimes do the same roles over and over and over again. And they have to just be super organized and have a great relationship building mentality, because it's not just like filling the roles. You really need to understand the whole business and understand what your partners need.
How important are phone skills? It might be a ridiculous question, but I remember when I entered the world of TV news, I did a lot of like phone interviews or phone calls to get interviews, and it was something that I desperately lacked was phone skills.
Yeah.
I find it difficult talking on the phone for some reason. Have you found that? Or?
Yeah, you definitely have to be able to talk to people,
Yeah.
right? If you can't talk or hold a conversation, you're probably not going to be really great at recruiting. Luckily, we do have some scripts, but you need to be able to like ad lib
Yeah.
at times or just be able to hold a conversation. But yeah, phone skills for sure. We also do virtual interviews. So being able to multitask, because not only are you listening, you're writing a bunch of notes
Yeah.
down so you can provide that to the hiring managers. So any sort of connection skills to the candidate, phone or virtual, is super helpful.
Anything you want to add? I mean, I blitzed you here with 20 questions. I've had fun. I feel like I've learned a lot about the recruiting aspect and talent acquisition aspect. Anything I missed or anything you want to add before we send it off here?
No, I'm excited for this podcast. I'm really excited to keep bringing in more people to the organization. So anyone that's interested, obviously reach out to the team. We're really looking for the top and best talent. So anybody wants to reach out, they can always email the talent team or go onto our careers page.
Well, Mikayla, thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad that we were able to make this happen. I'm glad you made time for us. You know, we've worked together a little bit, and I've always enjoyed working with you. And I think the work that you do, obviously, is so important to us here at BroadRiver Retail, and you do a great job and deserve to be highlighted in this manner. So thanks for joining us today. And that's Stories from the River 368, just like that. Catch us out on LinkedIn, YouTube, anywhere else you get your audio podcasts, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. To watch this episode, go to youtube.com/@storiesfromtheriver. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.